Hey there, YouTube. In this video, we're gonna install a hitch on a 2023 Pathfinder SL that we just got that didn't have the hitch. So I ordered it online, got a nice discount on it. And we're gonna attempt to install this ourselves and see how it goes. So we have the Pathfinder without a hitch, and we went to Nissan the other day and got all the necessary parts, which is 3 parts. One is your hitch, which will attach to the frame, your wiring harness for your 4-pin trailer connector, and all the parts to go with that. And then you also need a new trim piece. This trim piece here will replace that trim piece there to give it a nice finished look. So, all right, we'll get into the install and see how this goes. All right, so one of the first things you're gonna have to do is lower the rear tire. You can do this a couple of different ways. One, you can grab the jack and whatnot and tools out of here in that bag. I found it easier to just grab a 3/16 with an extension piece, because what you need to do to lower the tire is turn that until the tire comes down, because the tire was underneath and it will lower that cable. All right, so I did skip a few steps here on the install, or at least videoing it. I didn't skip any steps on the install. But you're basically, this is a trim piece that they give you in the kit. That is a guide to cut out the rear of your bumper. And then they give you that finisher piece, which is right here, that'll clip into place. But what I did was I basically, taped that all up. You got to drill a whole bunch of little 5/16 holes in all the corners. Couple here, couple here, couple there. You drill them out, and then I used a multi-master with a saw blade on it to basically cut out that space in the middle. And then you can install the hitch, which you can see I've already done. That was pretty easy. It's just a couple bolts. You're gonna want to have the tire down, but if you can see, there's 2 bolts there. There's 3 bolts on the underside, and then same on the other side. You basically have to lift it up in place, thread all the bolts. The instructions say to lower the muffler. You don't really need to do it because of those rubber hangers. It does give enough flex that you can get to the bolts if you flex it over. So that's about it. And you lift it up in place. And we're gonna do the wiring next, so stay tuned. All right, so don't do what I did and install the hitch without doing the wiring on the hitch. I was able to get it, but it was a little bit of a pain since it was already up, but they give you these 2 screws and this bracket with a nut on the other end. So it made it tight to get in there and tighten everything up, but was able to get it. You also have a pre-wire underneath. This is your plug that you'll plug into. It has a waterproof cap on it that you have to take off. You take a needle nose pliers to disengage the lock and pull out. So I was able to get the needle nose pliers. You want to depress that right there and pull out, and then you can put the plug in. And then a couple zip ties which come with the kit to keep the wire in place. And it's got a little plug in there too, which you may be able to see, that sticks in that hole right there. So now we're gonna go on to the inside. So you're gonna start by removing the hook. This little plastic clip folds down, and then you're able to get a 10mm on that to remove the net hook. And then directions, starting at the center, you can remove the weather seal. It says to remove it to about here and just let it hang. You then have to pry up the rear kick plate using a trim tool. Pay attention to the directions because it tells you where the actual clips are holding, and then you can pry this off so you can expose that. Next, we're going to take out the 3 10mm screws that are holding the floor down. So with the 3 screws removed, you can then take a pry tool and pop these 4 clips up, and then you can flip up the box onto itself, and so you can get it out of the way and get into where you need to get into. Then you're going to pry open back here where your wiring harness and relay is. There's 3 pop clips on this as well that you need to undo. So then you take your relay and you put this blue guy on the center as the instructions say. And then you can mount the bracket to the relay. So that it clips into place. All right, so then back here, you screw the bracket. There's a lug back here and the supplied nut. You screw that to the body so it's secure. And then you have an 8-pin and a 2-pin that is already wired. Then you just need to plug the 2 pigtails all coming off the relay into those 2 that are already on the truck. So not too bad. It's a little bit tight, you know, with getting back here, but all in all, it was okay. All right, so now we just connected the negative battery terminal again. We're gonna put everything back together, flip this back down, put the cap on, put the 3 screws in. We're gonna put this guy back on. Okay, and we're gonna take this rear kick plate, install that back down, pop the clips back in. That's it. Okay, and now we're gonna reinstall the weather seal. Okay. And this just pushes back into place. All right, so we got everything connected, tested everything in the car, make sure the windows go up and down, blinkers work and all that stuff, since we were doing some electrical. Connected the negative battery terminal, you know, so everything works again. The one thing I am gonna hold off on doing is putting this trim piece back on. I'm in the Northeast and it is pretty cold. So this trim piece, you know, it does have some double-sided tape and it comes with some glue that you put on. I don't want to do it while it's cold out, as it doesn't usually stick as well as, you know, you would like. So I'm going to hold off on doing that for now. But when I do, it's just 4 little pop clips that come in the kit that you're then able to just stick on. So it'll look like, kind of look like that when it actually is on, and it gives it a nice look, finished look. Well, I hope you guys found this useful. So this is, I'll put some part descriptions and part numbers, etc., links in the description if you're interested. These are Nissan OEM parts that I used for the Pathfinder. It'll do a 2022 and a 2023 Pathfinder, and I just think it's a much nicer look than some of the aftermarket stuff that goes on, because with the aftermarket stuff, the hitch actually goes below the bumper, whereas this one kind of goes through the bumper. And I just think it looks a lot better. So I'm pretty happy with the install. And hopefully you guys find it helpful. If you did, comment, subscribe. We'll be coming out with some more videos in the near future. All right. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.